When we think of players that have won NBA championships, we often think of players like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Although these are the players that most come to mind when we think of NBA champions, there are also tons of NBA players with a championship ring that most people forgot about. So today, we're going to look at 10 NBA players that you didn't know won a championship. And if you like NBA videos like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more NBA content. I'm NateTheHooper, and let's get right to the video. At number 10, we have Adam Morrison. Adam Morrison is most well known for being one of the biggest busts in NBA history. However, he also has a championship ring from his time with the Lakers in the 2009-2010 season. But he did not get much playing time during the Lakers championship run. He only played 2 games in the 2010 playoffs, both of which came against the OKC Thunder in the first round, and he didn't even play in the finals. In his 2 games, he only averaged 4 points and was very insignificant to the Lakers championship. Although Morrison had an extremely forgettable NBA career, at least something positive was able to come out of it, and he was able to be part of a championship team. Next up, at number 9, we have Trevor Ariza. Although Trevor Ariza now bounces around teams every year or two, at one point he was a crucial player to a championship team. In the 2008-2009 season, Ariza played for the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 24 minutes a game and even starting 20 games for the Lakers. Then, in the playoffs, Ariza started every game and averaged 11 points during the 2009 playoffs. Ariza was a stellar 3-and-D player to complement Kobe Bryant and helped the Lakers defeat the Magic 4-1 in the finals. Although Ariza would go on to have better individual seasons with teams like the Rockets and the Wizards, the 2009 season was the only one where he would earn a championship ring. At number 8 is Clyde Drexler. Although it may be obvious to a lot of people that Drexler won an NBA championship, people seem to forget this when talking about his legacy. I think the reason for this is that Clyde Drexler is most remembered for his time with the Portland Trail Blazers, but he won his only championship with the Rockets when he was paired up with Hakeem Olajuwon in the later part of his career. But it's not like Drexler was washed up with the Rockets. During the Rockets' 1995 championship run, Drexler averaged nearly 21 points a game. And in the finals against the Orlando Magic, Drexler stepped his game up even more, averaging nearly 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Rockets would go on to sweep the Magic, giving Drexler the only ring of his career. Number 7 for today's video is Kevin Willis. Kevin Willis had a solid NBA career, averaging just around 12 points and 8 rebounds over an astonishing 21 seasons. He was a one-time All-Star and even made All-NBA third team in 1992. But the most shocking fact about Kevin Willis is that he played in the NBA at the age of 44. This extreme longevity drastically increased his chances to win a championship. And that would finally happen for him with the 2002-2003 San Antonio Spurs at the age of 40. Willis's play had dropped off a lot by this point, and he only averaged 2.6 points in 18 playoff games. Nonetheless, it resulted in a championship after the Spurs defeated the Nets, giving him another accolade to add to his spectacular career. At 6, we have Steve Smith, who is also a member of the 2002-2003 Spurs. Steve Smith was mainly a solid role player for most of his career as he averaged about 14 points over a 14-year career, and he even had an All-Star appearance with the Hawks in the 1998 season. But it was in the 2003 season with the Spurs that he would get his best shot at a title. He averaged nearly 7 points in the regular season, but the Spurs changed the rotation during the playoffs. This would mean that Steve Smith's point per game would plummet all the way to 1.8, and he only played 8 games. He played only 36 seconds in the entire 5-game final series against the Nets, but was still able to get a ring. Next up, at number 5, we have Bob McAdoo. Bob McAdoo is a Hall of Famer that is most well known for his time with the Buffalo Braves, which are now the Los Angeles Clippers. He was a perennial All-Star and even won MVP in 1975, after averaging an absurd 35 points and 14 rebounds. But he would not have much team success until he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in 1981. With the Lakers, he actually won 2 championships, something often is forgotten when talking about Bob McAdoo's legacy. He was with the Lakers when they won the 1982 Finals and the 1985 Finals. Bob McAdoo was a solid player for the Lakers in both these playoff runs, averaging 17-7 in 1982 and 11-5 in 1985. At number 4 is Rashard Lewis. Lewis had a 15-year-long NBA career and was a 2-time All-Star. He is most known for his stint with the Seattle Supersonics, where he averaged over 20 points per game for 3 straight seasons. Rashard Lewis was almost an NBA champion with the 2009 Magic, but they lost to Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals. It was not until the 2013 season with the Miami Heat that Rashard Lewis would finally get a championship ring. He was essentially a non-factor though, as he only averaged 1.5 points in 11 playoff games. He only played in 3 games in the finals, but the LeBron and Wade-led Heat were able to defeat the Spurs in 7 games, giving Rashard Lewis his only career ring. Next up, for number 3, we have Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson had a severely underrated NBA career, as he averaged 21 points over a 10-year career and was a 2-time All-Star with the Bucks. He came close to the finals in the 2001 season when he was paired up with a young Ray Allen. However, they were eliminated in 7 games by AI and the 76ers. It wasn't until the 2005 season when he signed with the San Antonio Spurs that he would get his chance to play in the finals. Glenn Robinson was not his former All-Star self anymore at this point in his career, and he was only able to average 4 points per game in the 2005 playoffs. He would only score 2 points in the finals against a stacked Pistons team, but the Spurs were able to defeat them in a tight 7-game series. Glenn Robinson would retire after the season now that he finally had a championship ring. For number 2, we have Glen Rice. Glen Rice is most known for playing for the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. In his career, he was a 3-time All-Star and made an All-NBA team twice. He had his best years in Charlotte, but was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in 1999. In the 1999 to 2000 season, Glen Rice averaged 16 points and started 80 games. A lot of people forget that Glen Rice was actually the 3rd leading scorer for the Lakers this year, behind Shaq and Kobe. In the playoffs, Glen Rice was also productive and averaged 12.5 points and 4 rebounds. The Lakers would go on to beat the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals in 6 games, and Glen Rice played a big role in that. He even dropped 21 points in a win in Game 2. I find it interesting that so many people forgot that Glen Rice was on this team, because it's not like he was washed up like some of the other players in this video. But it is definitely safe to say that this ring was a nice cherry on top to an already solid NBA career. And finally, at number 1 for today's video is Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond was a Hall of Fame shooting guard that played his prime years with the Sacramento Kings, where he was named an All-Star 6 straight seasons and made 5 All-NBA teams. But what most people don't remember is that he actually won an NBA championship. Out of all the players on this list, this is the one that seems the strangest. In the summer of 2001, Mitch Richmond signed with the Los Angeles Lakers for the final season of his career. He was a shell of his former self in the regular season, and it would be the only year of his career that he failed to average double figures. He only averaged 4 points in the regular season, and in the playoffs, it dipped off even more. In the 2002 playoffs, Mitch Richmond played only 2 games, averaging just 1.5 points. He essentially provided nothing more than a veteran presence during these playoffs, and he only played 1 minute in the NBA Finals against the Nets. Nonetheless, Mitch Richmond was still able to get a ring in the last year of his career to add to an already impressive resume. There are tons of players that won NBA championships that we tend to forget about, so I thought it would be interesting to make a video about it. Comment below if there are any players that you think I forgot. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more NBA content, make sure to subscribe to the channel.